It is a beautiful morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Carnival Breakfast Show. Come to you from Carnival Radio, and this is Newspaper Review. I am Jose Oyukola. This morning on Newspaper Review, I came with different newspapers, and each of them with interesting story. As we always bring it to you every day on Newspaper Review, I have the Punch with me. I have the Vanguard newspaper. I have the Post, and I have the Nation newspaper. But before we dive to the news and details, we'll first read the headlines. And before the headline, I would love to ask you how you're doing today. How are you doing today? Today, Wednesday. How is your day going? How are you preparing for the Easter that is coming? Friday is Good Friday, Sunday is Easter Sunday, and Monday is Easter Monday. How are you preparing for the festive of period? And I want you to be very, very vigilant and be conscious of your movement during the festive period. All right, now, so let's dive into the headlines from the Punch newspaper. Polytechnic to introduce education technology courses, tackles drug abuse. Agency rescues 2 stolen children, arrests suspected trafficker. Lawyer fought federal government terrorist rehabilitation's amnesty policy. New Jigawa CP lists 7 priority areas. And now to the news and details. I read from the Punch newspaper. It's where Polytechnic are ready to introduce education technology courses that will tackle drug abuse. The Ogbonaya Honor Polytechnic Aba, Oyo State, has announced plans to introduce educational technology EdTech courses in line with the directives from the Abia State Ministry of Education. The initiative seeks to equip students with competencies in digital tool integration, instructional design, and contemporary pedagogical practices to strengthen teaching and learning within the institution. The Director of the Polytechnic, Dr. Christopher Okoro Kalu, disclosed this while addressing members of the academic board of the Polytechnic Auditorium. He said the institution has been positioned to comply with the ministry's directive, assuring that all newly introduced courses would undergo proper accreditation before the planned relocation to the Osisi Loma campus. Kalu further revealed that infrastructural development at the Osisi Loma campus is progressing. He explained that the Ministry of Public Utilities has commenced work on water reticulation of the campus with a projected completion timeline of a month and a durability span of up to 50 years. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. For more details, please visit the Punch. Polytechnic to introduce education technology courses, tackles drug abuse. Picking the story from the Vanguard newspaper is where Anambra State Special Anti-Touting Squad Agency arrested a 42-year-old man and rescued 2 stolen children. The Anambra State Special Anti-Touting Squad Agency has arrested a 42-year-old man identified as Sunday Nomel for alleged child trafficking. It was gathered that the suspect from Abakaliki in Oyo State was apprehended in Nkokpo in the Idemili local government area of Anambra State on Sunday, while parading the suspect at the Southside quarters, Indonesia, on Monday. The spokesperson for the agency, Karen James, said the suspect belongs to a gang of interstate child trafficking ring specializing in trafficking and selling children from the ages of 6 months upwards to interested buyers. James added that 2 children within the ages of 3 and 8 years were rescued from the suspect after security operatives stormed the location. He added that the operation carried out by operatives of Onitsha branch of SASA once again demonstrated its operational effectiveness in combating crime and protecting vulnerable residents across Anambra State. For more details, please visit the Vanguard newspaper. Agency rescue 2 stolen children, arrest suspected traffickers. In another interesting story from the Nation newspaper is here a lawyer fought federal government terrorist rehabilitation amnesty policy. A human rights lawyer and the former lead counsel for the indigenous people of Biafra, Sir Ifeanyi Ejiofor, has forwarded the terrorist rehabilitation amnesty policy currently being proposed by Nigerian security authorities, adding that such initiative will continue to wound the conscience of the country already wearied by grief. In a prior statement he released on Tuesday, Ejiofor faulted the proposal by the defense authorities that when any of the violent non-state actors surrenders, the state should receive them, rehabilitate them, and in due course reintegrate them into the society. A statement titled Muslims, Terrorist Rehabilitation and a Soldier's Blood, the tragic death of my driver's son, he added that it is morally unjustified to reintegrate the bandits and terrorists into the very society they once set ablaze. He insisted that the proposal raises not only legal and moral concerns, but also profound existential questions about justice, collective memory, and the value society places on human life. He lamented the death of his driver's son, a soldier, posted to Katsina State, were killed by bandits, insisting that while a nation must uphold the ideals of humility and redemption, such a fault must not erode the sanctity of justice or diminish the sacrifices of those who risked their lives to protect others. These are not abstract actors in distant narrative. They are the very architects of sorrow across our land. For more details, please visit the Nation newspaper. Lawyer fought for our government terrorist rehabilitation amnesty policy. On to the last news on newspaper review this morning. New Jigawa TP lists 7 priority areas. The news from the Daily Post newspaper. The new Commissioner of Police in Jigawa State, Aruna Alaba, has outlined 7 priority areas for his tenure, focusing on strengthening intelligence-led policing, community engagement, and zero tolerance for crime. Newsmen report that Alaba, who hails from Ijumu local government area of Oyo State, has taken over as the Commissioner of Police in Jigawa State from his predecessor, Mohammed Dahiru. He was enlisted into the Nigerian Police Force on May 18, 1992, as a cadet assistant superintendent of police. While interacting with newsmen during his maiden press briefing on Tuesday at the Jigawa State Police Headquarters in Dutse, Alaba said his administration will prioritize 7 key areas, including intelligence gathering and information sharing mechanisms to preempt crime across the state. The CAP emphasized the importance of community policing, noting that the police cannot succeed without the trust and cooperation of the people. He also outlined plans to deepen community engagement through regular consultations with traditional rulers, religious leaders, youth groups, and other stakeholders to build mutual trust, transparency, and accountability. Halaba warned that the command, under his leadership, would adopt a firm stance against all forms of crime, including armed robbery, cattle rustling, drug trafficking, and vandalism. For more details, please visit the Punch and the Daily Post newspaper. New Jigawa CP lists 7 priority areas. To bring the newspaper review to a close this morning, here is the recap of headlines. Polytechnic to introduce education technology courses, tackles drug abuse. And this is from the Punch newspaper. The agency rescues 2 stolen children, arrests suspected trafficker. This is from the Vanguard newspaper. Lawyer fought federal government terrorist rehabilitation amnesty policy. From the Nation newspaper. And from a very Daily Post newspaper. New Jigawa CP lists 7 priority areas. And with that, we've come to the end of newspaper review. Thank you very much for listening. You can download Carnival Media Hub from Google Play on our iOS. You can also check out our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. My name remains Joseph Yokola. Good morning. Please do well to enjoy the rest of your day.